we do not, as an employer, have our employees judged in the court of public opinion. If you have a complaint against any member of our staff or member of the trustees, you must bring it formally to the trust and it will be heard. But we do not accept protest votes. We're here to defend our staff as any good employer will and should, and we will continue to do that.
You've had a year. You've had a year.
We haven't had a complaint.
Well, you haven't had a complaint, you batted it back, because you had it obviously last year, and want to reinvestigate, but just on complaints, there is no way of investigating Angela McConville in the current complaints procedure, because what happens is complaints are dealt with by the most senior person in the department. So what happens if the most senior person in the department is the person that the complaint is made against?
It comes to me.
Well, there's no guarantee of investigation. There's no discussion of your role in that. There's no clear acknowledgement that there might be a conflict of interest when I am complaining about one officer and that officer is responsible for it. I've asked for the complaints procedure and it's not clear at all. It's not rigorous. There's no room for independence and there's no guarantee to investigate. So if that is like absolutely where you stand in your ground, you really need to address that as part of your public statements because it's not clear.
I'd like to second that. I received the complaints procedure from yourselves and it was insufficient. It was barely a third of a page long. It was basically a paragraph just of prose. It was not a proper procedure.
Paragraphs usually are prose.
And so it just, as in prose, as in simply decorative writing, descriptive writing. It was no sort of procedure that I've ever seen for actually making complaints. And it certainly doesn't instill any kind of confidence in anyone trying to make complaints. Just as your flippant attitude towards my language doesn't give me any confidence either. Yes.
Okay, if this works. Yeah, just to come back on the complaints, I hear what you're saying. I think we've tried to give a very simple process to the procedure for people to, to be able to make a complaint, to not make it feel too complicated for people when they initially approach the organisation. But I hear your point. If you don't feel as if we're giving enough information about the process we follow internally in terms of escalation and the different stages, we can make sure that is more publicly available because you've got to feel confident in it. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
It's more like conflict of interest. You know the detail that we go into, and you know the detail that we expect from you. So I'm very surprised at you saying that, because we've been in so many meetings. Myself personally have given up not even hours of my time, weeks of my time, to work with you to try and look at these things. So for you to then come back with that which is it? Is it disingenuous, or is it just getting them towards incompetence? What's the deal? You need to get into these things properly and provide policies and structures that make sense and give people confidence. You're not doing that.
Okay, but this is the first time you've told me that what we've produced hasn't been good enough. So, I'm happy to respond.
Are you telling me that this is the first time that I've been in a conversation with you
about this specific thing?
Okay, not about this specific thing.
Be fair.
You know generally the context which you've been sat in for the past 12 to 18 months.
It's a public meeting.
So there's no hiding.
It's a public meeting.
I just want to say
you don't have to sit in front of the camera then.
If there's a complaint against Angela, immediately after the last AGM, you were resent a complaint that we didn't feel had been dealt with properly by the last chair concerning Angela McConville. You passed it to her to deal with.
Oh, sorry.
You passed it to her. You batted it back to her and it came back to us. Not investigated, not discussed, not answered. Same line that was given about that complaint, and it was the complaint about Angela's dealing with the financier that I referred to earlier.
You disqualified yourself from any investigation because you stood there and said
you did do that.
Yourself, your staff.
Now it came at a time when you were getting, to be fair to you, you were getting about 1 million emails a day from like people in this room about various things, and you'd been to India or something like that, but you got it and you batted it back. There was no investigation. That was really clear. It was dealt with by referring back to Angela. Angela says there's no problem. Here it comes back. So if that is honest, I just think you really need to look into independent adjudication on issues like that.
last year, and the chant was that Angela must go, and in fact, all 2 or 3 meetings, one that she refused to come to, 2 that we came to, and the chant was that Angela must go. The most significant thing happened, and the most memorable thing happened on that space, was that Angela must go. I have a great remembrance of it, and you do. And we have the videotape of it, and you hide your head into it. I see it many times, and I'm great laughing at. But so, when you make no mention of it, we have to know what your intent is. Because there's a content there, you know already what's happening, and you brush it under the table, that we should be forgetful of this, my friend. No, it is not so. What happened, there was once a constitution, Angela must go, and I don't think that Niles made some allusion to that the Westway Trust was racist. I think he did say it was racist, and he itemized many ways that you were for the last 44 years, 40 years.
So, Maxwell, I put the question to Niles when he made the accusation of institutional racism. My response was that I will not convict past employees or trustees on a generalized assertion, and if you have any concrete evidence, bring it forward. And no such evidence has been brought forward. And in the absence of such evidence, there is nothing to be answered.
Well, I'm not sure about this. Actually, under the... No. Can I ask Alex?
What is measured as evidence is also down to perception.
All right, that's enough. Alex.
What is accepted as evidence.
Okay, Alex, in the minutes it mentions institutional racism. Now, under the Equalities Act 2010, direct discrimination, the complaints focus in particular on I'm sure you're very familiar with the Act. The complaints focus in particular in Chapter 2, Section 13, Sections 1, 2, 5 and 8 of the 2010 Act. What have you done to address that?
I haven't memorised that bit, I have to say. So I have to look at it.
Well, as a public body, whenever institutional racism is mentioned, it has to be investigated, regardless of who informs and where it comes from. That's a very strict provision under the Act. You are aware of that? No, it's a legal position. Are you aware that you are mandated, when it's mentioned, to investigate?
I really have to look at it. I don't know that specific point, no. I have to look at it.
So you do not know the 2010 Act at all, is that what you're saying?
Could we have a response from the chair on that point, please?
I'm not familiar with the Act.
As a public body, you have to be familiar with the Equalities Act 2010, because after the Macpherson report, every government body, charity, has to deliver that. It's true, it's a fact.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I haven't personally read the Act.
No, what I'm saying to you, that when it's mentioned institutional racism, wherever it comes from, in a public body, you have to respond directly to that immediately. And if you're acting illegally. And it seems to me, I wasn't here last year, it's been a year and I think a prosecution needs to be made if one wants to.
Well, I think you raised a great point that we need to look at those specific provisions. A charity isn't a public body for the purpose of that legislation. We'll certainly look at it. It doesn't mean to say that we don't have a need to address issues if they're raised.
Yeah,
but we're not a public body in law.
No, but you're still covered by the law. You are.
We're covered by the law, but
I mean, our response was bring the evidence forward.
Well,
and that may be inadequate.
I have
under the Act,
substantive evidence, and other people have substantive evidence.
I still wait for the evidence to be brought forward.
Okay, shall I serve that one now?
The problem with that particular way of investigating accusations of racism is that it relies on institutions that are being accused of racism to suddenly recognise their own racism. So it doesn't work, which is why the Act is so specific. You have to really think more carefully about if a person of a minority ethnicity is telling you they're experiencing racism and you don't notice it, that is not because it's not happening, it's because you have white privilege and you don't see it.
Okay. I'm about to serve a pre-action notice against the trust on this very issue. So, there you go.
Where's your notice?
With this.